I'm saving lives, huh? What is happening? Let's headset there. I'm saving lives, huh? I'm not sure how, but hey, Pip, what's going on? See you, One-Eyed Cougar. How y'all doing? So we can chat for a few minutes while we get people here. Turn my mic up. It is up. How's that? Live. Go to Twitter and tweet out that I'm live. Share. Copy link. Am I too quiet? How's that? That's probably a little bit louder than y'all are used to. Hey. What's going on, folks? Alrighty. There we go. Am I really that quiet to y'all? I have my mic turned all the way up. I gotta turn it down some because I'm gonna break levels. Y'all need to turn me up on the volume. This is usually where I'm at for my levels. Is it? Hi, y'all. I can't sleep. Sorry to hear that, bud. Are you able to hear me pretty clearly? Still? I don't know. Yeah. You know what's worse is I paid him to do another Grave Stories and he never fulfilled. I want my money back. No, it's fine. Yeah. I mean, it is sad. And, I don't think he saw my answer, but yeah, Grave Stories is why I started following him. But that's fine, you know. I can't replace him, but I'll see what I can do. Be sure not to break your eardrums with music. I'll do my best. Hope everybody was having a good day. Maybe I can ruin it for you with some creepy stories. I don't know. Who knows? How am I? I'm alright. A little sad, but above all, I'm good, man. Trying to load up my websites here. Be nice if it loaded faster. Leave page. Yeah, that's what I want to do. And creepypasta.com. There we go. Why am I sad? Because Nathan, we used to do creepy stories, and now he no longer will. Exactly. We need more people to tell him that and be like, hey. No, but it's fine. Hey, Civ, what's going on? Hey, Go Fish. Chappy! That's what I see. Someone needs to give money to creepypasta.com so they can get rid of all their damn ads. Guess that just means you can't quit. I guess it does, or until, I don't know, maybe Side Effect will take up the creepy game. No, it's fine. I'll keep going. I don't know if I'll be able to do every single day, but for now I can. And I'm alright with that. By the way, thanks everyone who was on my stream the other day. Oh, you're welcome, Bubble. It's nice to see more people stream, so y'all don't have to look at my gruesome face every day. About that Chappy. I'm sick of this dad nonsense. Yeah, but honestly, it got him a lot of new views and a lot of money. People just kept donating to him, and you got to do what pays the bills. And I think I may have been one of the few. Me and only other few people were donating to Nathan in the creepy stories. So, it would just play on your mind. It is what it is, you know. You can't donate through here, but I have the Streamlabs you can donate through. I don't know. I got that link somewhere. Clicky, clicky, clicky. Oh. I donated about the same for stories and for dad stuff. Yeah, I only donated a couple times for dad. Just because I wanted answers. But no, I mean, I'm happy that, you know, that he did what he did. And that's my link for Streamlabs. That's how you donate to me if you were so inclined, but I don't expect it from any of you, honestly. Ooh, time for some Burt's Bees right on the lips there. Just some good old Burt's Bees. Hello all. Hello Chappy. What did I miss? Oh, nothing. We were just talking about Nathan's no longer doing the grave stories. No, don't worry about it, Bubba. Hey, Holly. Looks like we got everybody in here, just about. Well, awesome. So we can start on the creepy stories. Yeah. I like this website, thecreepypasta.com. Besides having all the, it was a good day. Thank you. A little slow, but honestly, a very good day. I like that it tells you how long each pasta takes, and they're all ranked in order. All these damn ads. Give me a place where I can donate to you guys so I don't have to see ads. Oh, jeez Louise. Ad on ad on ad. Who dis Nathan? Nathan Barnett. He's kind of the reason I do what I do now. He's a comedian. You'd probably recognize his face. He's a pretty popular comedian. And he did really animated creepy stories, and it was always funny. I would always say creepy stuff to him, and he'd really get creeped out, and he didn't like that very much. But it was always hilarious, you know. Work was good. Nathan is a reason for Chappy's seasons. Well, I mean, I kind of blame Jason and some of you guys in here from Jason's stream, because I was like, I made a joke that, hey, I should go live, and someone said you should. I mean, they were probably joking, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. And I was half joking and I was half serious, but then now I'm doing it, and here I am, right? But yeah. So this one's called Roommates. So let's get started. Oh, there's a story by Madame Macabre. That's who narrates it. Now, this one will be by Chappy Chapperson. I don't know. This is by Shannon Higdon. This is Roommates once again, so. The second Daryl's keys were rattling in the lock, Katie was off the couch and racing to the front door. Did you do it? Did you do it? She was practically bouncing up and down with giddy anticipation and unwilling to give him a second to even breathe. "Did you kill her? Is it done?" Daryl couldn't help but to smile and shake his head. She was such a bad influence on him. He tried to remember his first time that they had met, but for some reason was unable to. It was just kind of seemed like she'd always been there. Tim and Jerry had been his roommates for close to 8 years, and somewhere along the way, they just kind of fell off with the twin brothers. Somewhere along the way, she just kind of fell off with her twin brothers. Before Daryl knew what happened, she was living in a little 2-bedroom house as well. Remembering when the guys moved in was a little easier. He liked them both immensely, and the first time they had met, they fell hard for their sob story of growing up as orphans with no real family other than each other. Wasn't that the real reason he extended the invitation? However, the truth was, they were fun. Age-wise, they were technically adults, but their maturity level was nowhere to reflect that. Neither of them ever bothered to grow up. There was really no telling what they might get into at any point in time. Plus, they really liked to play up the identical twin aspect and enjoy doing the same look as each other every day. Daryl could tell them apart. At the moment, Tim's hair was just a bit shorter than Jerry's, but most people didn't have a clue. Tim had told him once, quite some time ago, the story of how they'd met Katie in the area, but Daryl didn't really retain it. Tim had verbal diarrhea and a different story for every 10 day. Different story or 10 every day. It would have been impossible to try to keep them all in the memory banks. David. Tim's condition was aided considerably by the fact that he always had a bag of green herb nearby. Yeah, David would like this story. Jerry was quite the stoner, and his brother but did partake from time to time. Daryl complained that when Katie started hanging around, there was something about her that he found truly compelling. It wasn't that she had the hots for her or anything, or he had the hots for her or anything. She was not at all his type. She was sweet and funny, an absolute dynamo of highly contagious positive energy. He loved the way she kept him all in line, and yet on their toes at the same time. For all these reasons, and the others, he didn't fully understand. She could talk him into practically anything. She had an innate ability to persuade him into activities that most people would consider irrational, and a way of making sense out of it in the process. That's the way it was with Julie. His soon-to-be deceased ex-girlfriend and Marcus, his recently deceased ex-best friend, as crushing a blow as discovering their secret liaison was, Daryl was originally just going to break it off both relationships and count as blessings that he discovered the infidelity when he had not further down the road, when she might be his wife, and he might have been his best man. Him and Katie, who finally got to see him, the blind reason behind ending their lives. They were, after all, bad people. Who knows how else they would have ended up hurting in the long run. It was the same thing with Yuri Melosh, the Ukrainian guy who used to live down the street, that swindled Daryl out of nearly $3,000 in a Ponzi scheme. How many little old ladies would have been cleaned out before someone finally stopped him? Then there was the Pritchett Ricketts, the prick who kept pinching his clients by undercutting them and offers on jobs. Daryl was one of the best small job carpenters in the area, but somehow that damn Ricketts was always on his tail. It was Katie that pointed out the unscrupulous man must have been following Daryl. It also stood to her reasoning that there was no possible way of just cutting the leech out of his life. Other than killing him, of course. Father Missioner was the only one Daryl tried to put up a significant argument against, and even now it weighed on his conscience. Father Andrew Michner had been the pastor at the local Catholic church for nearly 40 years before he had passed on. Daryl's grandmother, who left the little house to him when she died, attended service there twice a week, every week, until she died, and the priest had grown fondly attached to the lifelong widow, when Daryl moved in 9 years ago. Father Michner, who had made it a point to visit the home and check on Doris, his grandson, and Daryl quite liked the pleasant man. Not enough to attend church, but he liked him. It was Tim and Jerry who initially didn't care for him. The first time they met, the father had made a lighthearted joke about them being freeloaders who didn't pay rent, and despite the lack of malicious intent, the guys, who never took offense or anything, had their feelings hurt. Which was really no big deal, but the priest continued to make weekly recurring visits, and eventually Katie was the one to see the demons in him. Absolutely terrified the first time she saw the man and the creatures possessing him from within, she later explained that the gift was called discernment, and she'd always been able to see unclean spirits. Daryl fought for some time on the issue, but her fear was real, and Katie never lied to him, or hurt him for that matter. She was truthful to a brutal fault, and in the end, he believed. He believed in a world beyond the one he could. He believed that Katie had gifts that he didn't have, and all above, he believed in her when she said that they would be plagued by the demonic attacks if the poor man wasn't put out of his misery. It was, by estimation, a mercy killing. And Daryl had been hoping that the moment bestowed mercy would be in the last time he would have to deal with such unpleasant things. But here he was again. "So," she pressed, "are you going to answer me or what?" Daryl chuckled again, pushed past her in the living room. "Are you going to give me a chance to actually answer?" Katie feigned offense behind him and said, "Well, excuse me, by all means." Tim and Jerry were wrestling with each other on the couch, and a couple of teenage boys, and didn't bring to an end till Daryl plopped down on the couch next to them, diverting their attention. "Well?" Jerry asked. They were all thinking. "He hasn't said." Katie had positioned herself on the lazy boy across from them. "For some reason, he's trying to play it cool with." She paused for effect. "It's not cool." The brothers began to fall over each other with laughter, which brought Daryl's attention to the empty baggie of green herbs strung around the coffee table. They were high as kites. Sometimes living with these two was like being in a frat house, or having children maybe. He definitely didn't take them as serious as he did his female roommate. "Well," Daryl finally spoke. "Not that you two yahoos will remember later." He was looking at the twins, and they fell into each other, another round of side-splitting. "But yeah, I did it. I cut her brake line." Katie's jaw dropped. "You cut her brake line?" she repeated. Daryl proudly nodded, "Yes." But the pride only lasted a moment before Katie made her displeasure known. "What the hell, Daryl? That's not what we talked about. We were supposed to poison her, or stab her." "Where in the hell did you come up with cutting her brake lines?" she sighed, exasperated. "How do you even know which one the brake line is?" "YouTube," Daryl replied sheepishly. "I looked it up." The twin brothers couldn't stop laughing. Jerry actually falling on the floor and holding his sides. Katie didn't find it funny at all. You looked up a video on how to cut brake lines, and then you went and cut someone's brake line. Please tell me you at least use a guest account on the computer somewhere else. She seemed like she couldn't even believe she was having to ask this, to a complete opposite of the reaction he had been expecting, especially when he could only mumble, "I use my phone." Katie jumped across the couch and slapped him in the face, drawing blood with her nails. "You effing idiot," she yelled in his face. "You screwed us all." Tim joined in his brother, rolling on the floor as neither seemed to grasp that why Katie was upset. What are we supposed to do when we get arrested? Daryl was genuinely shocked. Why would he be arrested? I don't understand, was all he could say, and Katie shook her head with sick pity. But not even giving him the opportunity to explain. The next few seconds passed in a blur. Broken glass filled the room of the windows, and chunks of wood flew in from the hall, where the front door had been smashed from the hinges. Suddenly, the room was full of black men in armor from head to tail, flashlights and screaming. Violently thrown on the floor and handcuffed, Daryl couldn't see his condition his roommates were in, but much like him, they were probably overwhelmed by the sudden flurry of activity. Jerked to his feet and hustled down the hall. He knew that he would probably be in some degree of trouble, but he truly hoped that his friends wouldn't be charged with anything. He didn't see them being handcuffed, and his name was the only one they stated as being under arrest and Mirandized, so hopefully they could have left out whatever mess this turned into. He was pulled out the front door. Daryl called out to his shoulder, desperately hoping they could hear him. "Don't say anything, guys. Don't say a word." By that point, it was the best he could do. An hour later, he was behind bars, barring the death penalty for the rest of his life. Toya Pearson couldn't help but to curse when the call came at 1:45 in the morning. Raising two girls as a single mom combined with a job that could call you at any moment, as a current call provided. Sleep was proving to be more and more elusive. The moment the ring woke her up from a deep sleep, she knew she was done for the night. She didn't even have to answer it. It did, however, turn out to be a rather interesting phone call. The department had arrested a rather notorious serial killer. Not that it wasn't good news. One less sicko in the streets was good for everybody. But that wasn't the part that particularly interested her. Toya's official title was that of detective profiler, but everyone knew her true passion was her feline rescue group. No one had a problem turning Katie. Tim and Jerry, on the other hand, rather that put them through the future trauma. She decided to keep them in the end. They won her over rather quickly with her infectious personalities, and her girls fell in love with them immediately as well. The youngest, Sarah, even claims that they speak to her. It's adorable. Oh. Ha! That's kind of funny. Did y'all get that? When I was in 5th grade, there was a kid in my class with a lisp. When we played football, he asked the receiver, instead of yelling, "I'm clear, I'm clear," he would yell, "I'm queer, I'm queer." David. Terrible. So, you get it? You get the story? Please tell me you do. That was Roommates. It's kind of a fun one. No one says nothing. Let's see here. We got 11 people in here. That's pretty awesome. If I can close these darn ads. Hey, see you wanna? What's up, buddy? What is happening? Check those sideburns, man. What are you talking about? You're under a fry warmer. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Would you like green instead? Or how about... Oh, different colors. Christmas lights. How about blue? What about Super Strobe Party? Oh, I gotta get these things to go at different times though. We were under lockdown most of the day because of bad guys. What are you talking about? Keep up the good work, my friends. And 4. What do you mean you were under lockdown most day? Lauren, what do you do actually? I don't think I ever asked. Guy running from the cops in the neighborhood. I got some Doritos and some salsa that I'm afraid to touch. But I'm gonna get me some salsa. You guys hang on one second. There we go. Salsa. Nice salsa. Salsa, 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 salsa. Guy running from the cops in the neighborhood. That's my chip tape. Gotta put that there. Oh, I said I'm live and no one liked or retweeted it. Guess people can only take so much Chappy in a day. It's fine. That's why I got chips and salsa. Nom nom nom. Can't get it on this shirt. I like this shirt. murder that like button. You could put some Burt's Bees on it, maybe like that. Oh, awesome, David. Oop. Oh, almost had to send in a rescue chip. Rescue missions never turn out good for chips. Sound like I dropped a chip, but I don't see it. Focus. Oh shoot. Rolling over my dang cable. Yeah, I should get the 2-meter one. That's an awesome idea. I gotta pick a color because it's messing with my camera. Nope, I just gotta turn one off. I do this. There we go. How's that? Just a little bit of red? Whoops. Does it still look like I'm under a heat lamp? Hey Chappy, sorry for not being on your live streams for a while. How's it going? It's going good, bud. How are you? How's your video game going? Oh shoot. Did it again. Nom nom nom. Okay. Back to some stories. Yeah, did you win the awards, Bubba? Close you. Close you. I'm trying to get as much as I can done. I don't know yet. Well, I believe in you, Bubba. I'm gonna get done with that game. You and me are gonna talk about making a really good one. Is it a full video game or is it a mod? I have an idea for an awesome video game. I'm looking for go out and who can't. I like that last story. It was about cats. Y'all got that right. The video was about, or the story was about cats. Meow meows. We're just looking for stories. Do 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 do. Love you too, Bubba. I don't think so. I gotta get me some sleeps. I got me a date with a bottle of Aleve PM or something like that. Yep. It's good stuff too. So here's a short one. It's called Cryptic Story. It's Japanese cryptic death. Translated from Japanese by Shishu. Oh, now you're just showing off, bud. You know, there's nothing wrong with just standard old ice cream sandwiches when you're feeling a little bit nom nom. All right. Oh, I don't want to read that one. Something just flew off my. I think I know what that was. Oops. This one's called Slender Man. You went fancy. Because you fancy. Alright, this one's Slender Man. He is obviously a recurring character in our segment, or in our show. Blow my nose, man. I feel something in there. So here's the story. Where's Ernie been? Someone needs to get a hold of Ernie. Do I have him as friends? Where's he at? A lot of people not on. Wish I could send like a mass message like, I'm streaming, guys. Got some Burt's Bees for you. So good for the soul. You want to cut your neck open? Just put a little Burt's Bees on there. Get that chapped skin fixed right up. I'll be under your bed tonight. Hee hee. Make a Burt's Bees killer story. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Anyways, this is Slender Man. There it is again. What is that thing? I can't take this anymore. It's like everywhere I go, all I see is horrible, tall, thin, and seemingly faceless creatures. No, it's not. Why does everybody keep saying that? I'm like the same level or a little bit higher than I normally am. Let me see something. Turn the mic up. Go to my voice meter program. 0 decibels. Oh, let me put that at 0 decibels. That was a little low. I don't know. Yeah, Chappy's always quiet. Not always, but when I'm on YouTube, I am. Where's Altoid Yoda? I should message him and be like, hey, I'm streaming, fool. Get in here. Let me find him real quick. Where's Evie? Where's everybody? Now I'm just getting greedy. I want everybody to be in here. Why don't I just use my app? Because I don't have to open Steam. And it's opening. Close it. Hey, streaming. That's for Emmy. Altoid. Hey. Streaming. Smiley. Sand. I don't want to look at new video games. I'm broke right now. Cannot afford new video games. Yeah, I know. And I don't know a way of getting a hold of her. I don't know how to find her. Womp womp womp. I'm surprised Jason hasn't, or Jason Int streamed. I don't know. Why am I off center on my camera? How about that? That's a lot better. What if I just talk out of the side of my mouth like this? Or like this? Hey, I'm a little sick right now and writing a paper. Hey, a little sick right now and writing a paper. I'm Chappy. Get it? It's a dad joke. Don't judge me. Back to the story. I know. No. Dude, I'm too old for that. Quick story. I worked at AOL. Doing customer service. Hey, Ross. Or tiredness and fatigue. I worked at AOL. And, like Stone Cold Steve Austin, I think it was called. And I got him. And, I played it really cool because I saw all his information. And I asked what he did, and he goes, "You don't recognize my name?" I said, "No, sir." He goes, "Oh, well, I wrestle." And we didn't go really beyond that. I said, "Oh, how do you like it?" And he made the comment that he wakes up every morning and he goes and looks in the mirror and he tells himself he does it for the kids. You know, like he doesn't want to see 36-year-old men or 40, 50-year-old men like screaming for him. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they still exist. It's Time Warner Company, isn't it? I feel like we can Google that. We got 15 people now. But, he's a really cool dude. There's people, man. There's people. Who? I don't know. But there are people. There you go. So back to the story. Anyways. It's been haunting my dreams as well ever since I first saw it. All it does is stand there and watch me. I can't shake the constant feeling of being watched. It's like I'm never alone. I hate it. I can't sleep. I can't go outside. I can't function as a normal person without it being there. I've done a lot of research in the last couple days, Googling what to best describe it as. All I could remember was being impossibly tall and thin man. I say impossibly because no human could be the height and that thin. It's just not GD natural. I tried my best to remember its face. I figured that would help narrow the search. But there wasn't one. I have no memory of seeing the thing's face. It was always just a blur. But then I could never look at it long enough without feeling uneasy. I usually just walked in an other direction or something. Or was it a dream or a nightmare at that? I would always wake up before I could get a clear look. Well, the search provided me with something called the Slender Man. What the F is a Slender Man? It's a mythical creature The thing that's been stalking me? No, it can't be. I refuse to believe it. I've not left my house in 2 days. Been held up reading these Slender Man stories and accounts. Needless to say, sleep has eluded me for the duration. Nothing's going right anymore. I think I've angered it by not letting it in my dreams. I keep hearing banging on my windows at night and creaking of the floorboards as I lay in bed. I know they say houses do that on their own, but this is different. The creaks aren't that of the house settling. There's weight behind them, like soft footsteps. However, every time I go and look, there's nothing there. But when I re-enter my room, I always get the sensation I'm being watched. It's me under your bed. Hee. Tell me, have you ever been sitting in a room by yourself? Windows and doors closed, and then suddenly the door begins. The door opens for no reason. I think everyone has, but I'm different. I swear it's not that draft. I've had all the windows locked for about a week now. I'm not one to believe in ghosts or anything of that sort, but it just has an eerie feel to it. Whenever the door spontaneously opens, I get noticeably colder in the room. The second I leave the room, however, all the rooms are back to normal, so it's not like my thermostat's on the brink. Any room, however, except my own room. My room has been getting cold recently, real cold. I resorted to lighting candles all around the room to try to heat up the place. I don't know what's happening. I'm starting to lose it. I went outside for the first time in over a week today. I thought maybe my delusions were coming from being cooped up and spending too much time scaring myself reading about the Slender Man. I went through my day-to-day life as best as I could, and to my surprise, no sightings of that thing. Everything was going fine. In fact, I could start to forget about the whole thing, that is, until I was heading home. I was walking through the woods, trying to take in as much fresh air as possible before I went home, when I stumbled across a piece of paper lying there on the middle of the footpath. I normally just have written it off to be some litter left by someone, but it was crisp white. It looked like it had been placed carefully there. No longer than probably 20 minutes ago. I picked it up and turned it over. It was a drawing of that thing, the Slender Man. A very crude sketch depicted him with the words, "No, no, 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 no," scribbled down on the sides of the page. As I tried to decipher the page, the clouds quickly darkened, turning to a heavy black. I best get home quick before this rain hits, I thought to myself. Now I'm home, sitting staring at this picture, going out of my mind to try to figure out just how it got there. Thinking about how new it looked and wondering what that sick F drew this and left it there for me. I'm just gonna go to bed. Be well to get some sleep. I swear that picture's cursed. Slender Man was in my dreams again last night. It seemed so real. I was lying on my bed in the dream, and I'd woken up and seen him standing there in the corner of my room. I tried to scream, move, do anything, but I couldn't. I lay there, frozen in fear, wondering what would happen. He just lifted his arm, stretched a good 10 feet to the headboard of my bed, and rested his hands. I say hand, but they didn't really feel like hands, more like tendrils, over my eyes, and I went back to sleep. When I woke up, there was nothing. What an effed up dream. Oh, and you'd know what else has been, you know what else has been happening since I brought that picture home? My electronics have been effing up. My laptop shuts down on its own, even with the full battery. My TV randomly turns to static. My phone keeps getting no reception. Along with the opening of the doors, the constant sound of footsteps at night. You get the picture. I burned it tonight. I'm taking it out back and setting the effer alight. No. No, 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 no. This can't be happening. I watched that get burned last night. I took that piece of paper outside and I watched it burn. How can it be back? What kind of twisted bastard would put a duplicate copy through someone's mailbox? This really isn't funny. I can't even phone for help because my electronics won't stop acting up, and I'm too paranoid to leave the house. I don't know what to do. Things are getting getting too much to cope with now. Day after day, more and more of those damn pictures keep coming through. Nothing works in the house, and I keep thinking I'm seeing him in the house. Whenever I leave the room, I think I catch a glimpse of him in my peripheral vision, or in the corner of a mirror I pass by. It's driving me insane. Has this thing really invaded my home? If so, there's no safety to be had. If it can get me here, it can get me anywhere. Doesn't mean I won't go down without a fight, though. Okay. I've locked my doors and all the windows. Took enough food and water from the kitchen to last me about a week. I'm going to hole up in my room for as long as possible. I don't feel safe outside, nor do I feel safe in my own home. This is my last resort. I know I've got something sinister in store for me. I just know it. Why else would it go to such lengths to scare me to the brink of insanity? Well, I barricaded myself in my own room for now. Nothing's getting in here without my say-so. It's getting late. I'm gonna try to get some shut-eye. Shh. What's that? I swear I heard something move. It must have, because it woke me up. There was no ordinary footstep that I heard at the beginning of all this. Oh no. That was loud and deliberate thud. It must be messing with me. The Slender Man knows I'm here. I would get up from bed to turn the light on, but there's no point. He's been messing with the electronics. I lay here scared out of my mind, staring into the total darkness. I know this sounds crazy, but have you ever seen the dark shade of black? That normal? Like when you're in a dark room with the only little light and everything casts a shadow? But some shadows seem darker than others? I swear, even though I'm currently in a near blind darkness, that corner is darker than the rest. It's the same corner he was in my dream, or he was in last. It's the same corner that it was in my last nightmare. It's like the darkness is moving. My night vision is getting better now, and I can see a little more detail. Oh, no, 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 no. I can see the outline of the man from the corner. A really tall, thin man. Looks like he's wearing a suit. Oh God. It's him. He's here. Just like in my dreams. I lay here, frozen in fear, wondering what's gonna happen. He lifts his arm and stretches it across my room and over my head. He rests his hands. No, these aren't hands. These are tendrils on my forehead. I thought about grabbing his arm and trying to push him away, or getting up out of bed to try to break the door down. But something told me there's no use. Nothing would help me now. His tendrils grew in length and snaked down my entire body, slowly wrapping themselves around me in some sort of blackened cocoon. Before I could scream, the blackness reached my face and covered my mouth. As it enveloped my head, the last thing to be covered was my eyes, which were firmly shut the whole time. I decided to open them one last time. I looked directly up, and there he was, standing directly over me, looking down. That was the last thing I saw before the darkness claimed me. Although he has no face, I swear, he seemed to smile. I think I drank too much cough syrup. It's the good stuff with codeine. I'm sick as a dog's fart. Are dog farts really sick? I mean, I don't... Picture, or it never happened. Didn't get on my shirt this time. Uno mas. And then I close it again. Chunky salsa. Just pour some milk in it, make some chunky salsa cereal. Swear to God, if my bedroom door opens right now, I'll piss myself. No, mild. Yeah, I'm a big weenie. Oh crap, I left my chicken at work. I had chicken. Dang it. Oh well, it's gone now. Oh, one more. Yeah, it's just the mild stuff. Medium. I'm a big weenie when it comes to spicy food. But I love me some chunky salsa. How are you guys? Got in it. Tomato puree, water, tomato paste, diced tomatoes, and tomato juice. Jalapeno peppers, onions, and less than 2% of the following: salt, vinegar, natural flavor, and garlic powder. I feel like I can make this. I always thought the green stuff was peppers. It's jalapeno. Eh. What that noise? How does that make you feel? I'm hearing stomping upstairs. Don't fall through. I'll laugh at you. You like that sound? Does that remind you of something? Part 1, and it's 34 minutes long. It's a really good title. I hunt down the government's mistakes. Maybe I'll read it another time. Mr. Ferguson. 8 minutes. That's more like my speed. I don't want to do that. I don't care about your ads. Close. Shh, don't tell. Is this considered low-calorie food? Yeah, 10 calories per serving. Serving size, 2 tablespoons. No one ever has one serving. You try to fit 2 tablespoons on one chip. Chips have the calories, do they? 150 for about one serving is about 12 chips. Alright, I can close this now. Lauren, you are the calories. So tempted to buy 4 books. What 4 books you want to buy? You know, it's my birthday coming up. You can buy me a book. Just kidding. Fixing my little magnetic sculpture here. It's like a makeshift cross. I don't make you stress eat. Pff. You do. This last story, then I'm gonna go burn one. Take a small break. Alrighty. Got an A+. Excuse me. It's a series of illustrated books about animal breeds. Nah, no thank you. But you should get them for yourself. This one is called Mr. Ferguson. Let's try that again. Mr. Ferguson. I think the whole street breathed a sigh of relief when they saw the EMTs take the body bag out of Ferguson's house. He was only about 10 or 11 at the time. It's been a while, so some details of my childhood are lost to time. But I can't forget Mr. Ferguson. There was never a Miss Ferguson in the picture, as far as I know. Starting another story. He lived in the house on the corner. The one with the bright yellow shutters and the gorgeous garden out back. The guard didn't make up for the rotten old bastard he was. I wondered once if he was nicer when he was younger. When he didn't have to walk with a cane and could actually get around without help. But my dad set me straight on that one. Mr. Ferguson had always been a terrible person and the neighbor from hell. All day long, Mr. Ferguson would sit on his front porch in his rocking chair, grasping onto his black cane as he stared out at the street. Someone walking their dog even got close to his yard. He'd start spewing threats about what he'd do to the dog if it took a crap on his lawn. If a kid put even a toe on his property, he'd get up from the chair and start shouting terrible things. I learned my first cuss words from Mr. Ferguson. Bless that man. He didn't censor his language, even amongst the smallest of ears. It wasn't all talk. One of my friend's dogs wandered onto the Ferguson's yard, just sniffing around as beagles do. Mr. Ferguson beat the dog bloody. The poor thing had anxiety for the rest of its life. If you so much as passed the Ferguson's house with the dog, it would lose its mind. Other than that, Other than him, our neighborhood was a friendly place. Summers were full of cookouts and pool parties. Winters had secret Santa gift exchanges. Someone was always willing to help shovel out your driveway. You'd never be hard-pressed to find a babysitter on short notice. Odds are if your friend had a teenage daughter willing to make a few bucks to make sure the kids were in bed on time. But not Mr. Ferguson. People did try to bring him out for the fun sometimes. He'd scoff and tell them to leave him alone in no uncertain terms. Mom said he just wanted to be miserable. I didn't understand how he could want that. And well, I still don't. One hot summer's morning, though, his caretaker came in to do her check and found him in his garden, dead as a doornail. Probably a stroke or a heart attack. My mom made us go to the funeral. I don't know why. She probably hated Mr. Ferguson the most. We were there like one of the 5 people that went. One of those 5 people was a priest. At least it was short. The priest just said a few words about how he should treasure our lives and be good to others. And then Mr. Ferguson was chucked into the ground. That was that. Or so I thought. The accident started happening just a week later. I was at my friend Michael's house. We were playing board games. We heard the crash. It was so loud it shook the house, and Michael dropped his soda. Root beer spilled onto the carpet. As we tried to figure out what the sound was for a second, then we heard his dad screaming bloody murder. Forgetting completely about a spilled soda, we ran to the garage, where he had been working on changing the oil on the car. Michael's dad was pinned under the car, against the garage door, face white as a sheet, as his dad lolled to the side. I saw blood spattered against the gray color of the house and then puked while Michael ran inside to call 911. It was luck that he survived. He never walked again, and health issues plagued him for the rest of his life. But for a guy crushed by a car, that's probably the best scenario. It was an accident, sure, but a weird one. The car just suddenly launched forward as Michael's dad stood in front of it. But there was no one in the garage with him, so yeah, it was just an accident. Hey, Ernie. Aw, fine. See you later. You did say you were getting sick. But accidents started happening more and more often. The next one was at the pool party of the season. We were all at the Benson house because they had just gotten a brand new hot tub. There's probably like 12 kids running around. The sun was shining, the barbecue was sizzling. We had just gotten out of the pool to grab a lemonade and was chatting with Annie when I heard the pop. The Bensons and their friends had been relaxing in the hot tub, making jokes and laughing until the pop. Their bodies suddenly went rigid before they began to rapidly jerk about, twitching. Mr. Benson shouted that she was all right, and I heard him gurgle, yell, before Miss Benson went under. The kids stamped out of the pool and smelled something burning before I realized the hot tub was on fire. Miss Benson and her sister ended up dying on the way to the hospital. The other woman ended up surviving, but not without some serious electrical burns. Electrocution via hot tub. Just an accident. But there was one more accident we all missed until we returned to the pool to see a little body floating on top. 3-year-old Maggie had fallen in during the chaos and drowned. Mr. Benson moved away after that, losing both his wife and his youngest child in that house. It just killed something inside of him. But after he moved away, we all saw what happened. His backyard became overgrown by plants. Not over a few weeks. Like what happens when a house is inhabited. There's no one to mow the lawn. The very next day, they left the house. The backyard was now filled with dandelions, daffodils, and lilies. All sorts of flowers that shouldn't naturally appear in late summer. It was like a garden. Accidents happen, sure, but not like this. Not when a guy who's been working on home improvements his entire life ends up toppling from a ladder and breaking his spine. Not when a mom trips and falls face first in the open dishwasher and ends up getting impaled by a knife. Not when a toddler is left alone just for a few seconds and ends up nearly drowning in the hot tub. Dogs ran into the road and ended up getting hit by cars. Kids fell from their bunk beds and cracked their heads like eggshells on the dressers. Teenagers got into fatal car wrecks. It was a mess. 2 of the other families ended up leaving the neighborhood, and their yards had the same fate of the Bensons, completely grown over, a morbid beauty. Fall came and the yards grew brown, but the garden seemed to be even greener. The whispers started about the ghost. A ghost that was such a miserable old bastard in its life now had the nasty poltergeist of death. Mr. Ferguson had never left our neighborhood. It all came to a head when a few trees were struck by lightning and a large tree limb crashed into our living room. I had just tripped while picking up my things and suddenly the roof caved in on me. I was lucky I was on the ground. If I'd been standing, well, I probably wouldn't be telling you this story. 2 nights later, my mom woke me up. She looked grim. Come on, we're gonna go see Mr. Ferguson. When we walked out of the house, I saw everyone out in the street. Everyone had the same grim look in their face. The deaths, the mutilation, the forever tarnish of our street, and we'd had enough. We all walked down the street, and I saw several guys walk with Mr. Ferguson's house with mallets and chainsaws. We're going to get a few things, but we're going to... But we kept going with a few of the others. And I saw several of the adults were carrying shovels and containers of lighter fluid. Whew. Sorry, guys. We walked into the backyard. My mom led right into Mr. Ferguson's grave. She took a deep breath and started digging. It was the frantic endeavors of people who believed they were cursed. Dirt flew in the air and nearly pelted me in the head a few times. I hid behind my mom, who just stood there stone-faced. Even now the accidents weren't over. A man tripped in the hole and his leg snapped like a twig. He wailed as he was dragged away by a few others before everybody got back to digging. Someone else smacked his face with a shovel and blood coursed down his face from his nose as he just kept digging. Finally, the coffin was reached. The lid was cracked open. Mr. Ferguson's body laid inside. He didn't even look dead, like he was taking a nap. Then they started pouring lighter fluid on it, covering the corpse's skin, his clothes, and probably added more than necessary. My mom struck the match and threw it in, shielding me from the sudden burst of flames. I didn't get to see the body, but I swore I heard the old man's yelling as his body burned. It was over all like that. The gardens were dead by morning. The accidents stopped. And although they had lost so many of our friends over the past year, we recovered. New neighbors moved in. We welcomed them into our fold. 1 or 2 asked about the property on the corner. The one that looked like a tornado hit it. We'd just say vandals. They stopped asking. We never talked about what we did to Mr. Ferguson's body. And as soon as we stopped thinking about it, I grew up on that street. Even now, I live a few blocks away. For so long, I wonder why my family was practically the one untouched by the tragedy. We never got hurt, even when the tree branch came crashing in our living room. I think I found the answer. See, my mom passed away a few months ago of breast cancer. I've been going through her things. She'd always been such a good, kind woman. It was great seeing pictures of her helping plant the garden behind the church and teaching at the local school. But in the bottom of the box, hidden under dozens of other albums, was a picture from when she married my dad. Unlike the family picture with the groom. It was my mom and an older man. I didn't recognize him until I flipped the picture over. On the back was written Pauline Walters, P. Ferguson, and the father of the bride. Oh, crotchety old man. That was written by the odd cat lady. Time. How's everybody doing? Don't you wish you had some salsa? Salsa got into a cut. It's fine. Minor cut. It's like a paper cut. Uno mas. It burns so good. Probably effing my stomach up doing this. You might have sun chips, but you haven't killed half a thing of salsa today, have you? Well, I mean yesterday too. Let me rinse my hands off here. Looks like Ferguson was their granddaddy. Sad, sad Mr. Ferguson. Some wet water. Oh, I don't want that. I want the Twitters. Let me see if anybody retweeted me. Nope. Womp womp, it's fine. Ooh. Well, I'm glad y'all are here. Visiting with me. Let's see what else we can find. The thing on the roof. Maybe. They just won't move? Oh, yeah, that was from yesterday. I have a Hot Pocket in the freezer. I believed in the one. Floor 48. My friend, a guy, however, made a mistake going to the toilet with unwashed hands. Oh, I get it. We cooked some chili and stuff at the academy in the kitchen. A friend of mine had cut up chilies. My fingers hurt the entire day, and I cannot hold a pencil in the subsequent seminar. My friend, a guy, however, made the mistake of going to the toilet with unwashed hands. I finished my paper. Awesome beast. Kick butt. Don't judge me, I'm chewing on plastic. If it can hold my water, I can chew on it. Keeps my jaw strong. What was your paper on, Beast? I feel like you already told us, but I don't know. I am. Well, I can't see myself, so I don't. Never mind. Listening. Your paper was on listening? what you said? Different types of listening. There's different types than with your ear. Please enlighten us. Ranch Doritos are the best. They're pretty good. I'm gonna take a quick breaky poo. Like sonar. Well, I mean, that's whatever. I will be right back. virtually outside. I think my hair's possessed. I'm gonna use my hair. Fuck it. What's that noise? What? Why are you GDing me? See how that looked. Just up for a drink. Charging cable in the back. Do you and your husband both watch me? Puff puff, give. See you wanna simulator on Roblox. What? Tell him, hey, here's the real thing, and throw him some clothes. That's what my parents did to me. Well, I mean, I didn't watch, Laundry Simulator. Aha, thanks. Yeah, my husband watches. Does he like it too? Or do you make him? Like, look at this idiot. He can't read. He stumbles on easy words. He says, shouldn't air out our family laundry. Oh. No laundry. No laundry. I bet he wants some Burt's Bees when he sleeps. Just right there on the lips. When he wakes up, he'll feel all minty and fresh. This one is called, I Believe in the One. I don't know if this is creepy or not, but it's here. Everyone is familiar with the idea of a soulmate, someone meant for you, your perfect match, the missing piece of you that exists out there, off in the world, just waiting to cross your path. The idea is touching, and viewed as a little naive by most people. After all, true relationships are built on hard work and dedication, not false promise and perfection. I met my soulmate when I was a young adult, overcome with a strange sense of being watched one night when I was out on a walk. Although I lived on a street filled with houses and life, at that hour, you'd think it was a ghost town. Perfect way to clear your thoughts, taking the outside world without the buzz of kids and cars. The feeling that washed over me wasn't the same kind of fear-inducing sense of being watched. It was more like a sense of knowing. Except the street, aside from me, was empty as far as I could see or hear. was not a mention of which I passed someone by. I heard the telltale scuff of shoes on the pavement. It told me someone else couldn't sleep. It was dead quiet. I chalked it up to sleep deprivation, but allowed my pace to pick up as I started back down towards my home. I want to preface this with the self-awareness by saying I'd always have an open mind to the idea of there being more out there. Aliens, cryptids, the paranormal, anything that could be possible was potentially possible in my mind. That was not to say I was a firm believer in those things. On the contrary, I've been logical as I can be. Like anyone else in this day and age, there was always the thought in the back of the mind that we can't quite disprove life after death, or aliens exist out there, or even a cryptid or two staying isolated from us. I also want to admit that I've always been an avid horror fan, with a particular small hope that something terrifying, exciting would happen to me just once in my life. But as we all know, you have to be careful what you wish for. Just as the feeling of being watched, if not stalked completely at this point, became suffocating, I heard him, rather his shoes, scuffing the pavement behind me as he jogged along to catch up to me. My back was turned to him, and I kept my eyes ahead to avoid looking paranoid. The hairs on the back of my neck were standing up. Goosebumps pricked my skin. I felt a hand on my shoulder, a strong grip, determined fingers gently digging in with a sense of urgency. I don't want to scare you, but there's something in the bushes that's been following you down the street for the last 20 minutes. His voice is a bit labored, and he lacked any sense of tiredness. If I had to guess, he might have been riding a wave of adrenaline that had come on suddenly. That in itself alarmed me. All evidence suggested it had just come from his home, one of the ones on the street. In quite a rush to warn me about my situation, still, I could hardly find words. "Excuse me?" Was the voice always that small? Someone's following me? By now I was facing him. He was taller than me. Not hard to do, considering I'm a young adult man, standing dashingly tall at 5'6". He was considerably taller than me, though. Like by an entire foot. It was hard to make out his features. Feathers, yeah, he had feathers. But I could tell he was handsome, even in the dim street light glow. His eyes were the loveliest shade of green. Not someone, something, the stranger clarified, casting a tentative glance to the bushes across the street as if to prove a point. I swallowed, my stomach dropped with anxiety, and I could feel myself tense up. There were a million questions to ask that I should have asked, but at the time, only one went through my head. But I live over here. How do I get home? I live over there. How do I get home? My voice was a whisper. I realized without deciding whether I really believed this man. I found myself worried about alerting this mysterious thing was apparently fascinated with me. In hindsight, one might wonder whether or not he made it up just to talk to me. That's what I believed when I came to calm down. But right there and then, my panic was started to take hold. Just how would I make it home if I had to cross the street? Where is this thing was currently hiding right now? The stranger smiled, warm and brave. It was gentle, promising that all would be without words. All would be well without words. I walk with you. Everyone knows About safety in groups, right? He offered a hand, guiding me further down towards the crosswalk, and occasionally peering behind us in the foliage. I'm Ryder, by the way. Sorry if I scared you. I woke up to use the restroom and saw you walking down the street by yourself. Elias was all I could manage. I was far too busy trying not to look behind us, even though my terrible curiosity wanted me to. I know it sounds weird, okay? I thought I was seeing things at first. And then when I saw you run across the street, you were under the lights again, I realized I wasn't, Ryder continued, gently nudging me along the sidewalk, blocking my view of the path behind us. The rest of the short walk was silent. We were both listening out for whatever he had seen, and on our toes. But we made it just fine. I never saw nor heard a single thing out of the ordinary. As I fumbled to unlock the door to my home, I felt sadness wash over me. It wasn't my own. It was foreign. Alien. Ryder saw my hesitation and gave me another charming smile, filling me with the courage to start thinking for myself long enough to all but throw the door open. The poor cat was scared off half to death when it hit the wall with a loud smack. Starting up the stairs with wide eyes, all things considered, the disgruntled cat was a welcome sight. Well, you're home, safe and sound, my savior chuckled, keeping a respectful distance outside the door. I was thankful for that. I'd always been socially anxious, and the idea of having to kick him out after he helped me was not a good one. Yeah, I sure am. Thanks for walking with me, I murmured. Compared to Ryder's confident cadence, I sounded like a ghost who didn't want to be seen. Without missing a beat, Ryder offered his number and warned me against walking alone at night for various reasons, especially here, he added, as casual as someone discussed the day. He got pretty close to you before you reached the lights. At the time, I thought nothing of the comment that Ryder explaining what he saw. After that night, my life became a lot more exciting than I asked for. For one, Ryder and I became very close very quickly. Never in my life had anyone ever paid me any attention, cared about what I had said, or given as much of a second thought until I met Ryder, where I was appallingly, unintelligibly, and painfully average and routine. Ryder was adventurous, exciting, and handsome to boot. I said boot. Jesus. You could probably guess that we were dating before long. It was a casual relationship in the beginning. We were slowly spending more time together and ease into getting more serious one. As it stood, he never stayed the night because he knew how much it stressed me out to be around someone for more than a few hours. That was another amazing thing about him. He understood my defects enough to accommodate them. It touched me that someone thought it was worth the effort. So casual it was, until April, or late April, well into the night. Ever since the incident before, I'd stopped my night walks and taken to new coping methods in my home when I felt anxious. Ryder helped me many a time when I'd call him on the verge of panic attack. Like panic? Sorry. While he was dead asleep, helping me form new hobbies or things to keep me busy that wouldn't put me in as much danger as being out alone would. He cared about me after all. It was late again, just past midnight when I curled up on the couch and turned on the TV for background noise. My sketchbook was out on my lap. My hands fiddling with a pencil, and I tried to decide what to draw. Feeling confident, I wouldn't need to disturb Ryder's sleep tonight. I decided to draw him and give it to him as a gift We met up. Silly, I don't know, but I was so grateful to him. And there was a knock on the window across from me. The knocking was almost nervous, nowhere near as nervous as I was when I lifted my gaze from the paper in front of me up to the window across the room. It was well lit there, and terribly hard to see anything outside. I could hardly see at all, save for two pairs of red glowing eyes staring back at me. I almost choked on my own fear, anxiety raising as fast as my pulse and my hand stabbed around for the phone. A few moments of sheer panic, and then my fingers smacked the familiar cold flat surface. I was dialing Ryder's number in an instant. "There's something outside my window, please help me," I croaked, still making full eye contact with the intruder watching me. Ryder gave no verbal response, but I could hear him rushing out of bed and pulling on his clothes. It was more than 5 minutes later. He was at my door, disheveled. As shocking as the ordeal was, it was even more shocking when Ryder all but ran for the back window. For the first time since I'd known him, I saw a flash of rage on his face. Never thought he was capable of. Only when Ryder ripped the back door open did the thing outside look away from me. I couldn't hear anything over my partner's furious cursing, his body stiff and red-faced with anger as he packed the backyard and shouted after the thing. Ryder didn't come back inside for a long time. When he did, he looked exhausted, like he'd been busy at work. But then I inquired. Ryder simply made me promise never again to go outside when I see it again, and to always call him first, always. There was a hint of something dangerous in his tone, something angry, daring me to protest. But I smiled weakly and told him of course I'd call him. He was my hero after all. And I told myself he was only angry because he was scared. That seemed to calm Ryder down. He relaxed and came inside. For the first time he stayed the night with me. I don't know if it was because of what happened, the air of uneasiness that settled over me like a fog. But I couldn't sleep at all that night, even though the person who had protected me and respected me was sound asleep next to me. It felt wrong. It felt bad. Eventually, I quietly slipped from my room and returned to the couch. As I finally started to drift to sleep, my consciousness lapsed into dreams. Once again caught the gaze of the red eyes from before. There was something so upset about them. Sadness that knew no bounds. Anger that could rend entire worlds and send the gods to their knees. I slept until I was awoken by Ryder grabbing me rather violently by the arm and yanking me off the couch. He shouted at me. But just as I woken up, I couldn't make sense of my haze. The back door was open, my furniture had been upturned and broken. My sense didn't return until the pain from my hard slap to my face knocked me back into place. Ryder hit me. That same day he declared, not asked, declared that he would be living with me from now on. I was too affection starved to say no. If this was the only person who would care for me, the only one for me, then so be it. No one can survive alone. Things fell back into the same semblance of normalcy for a while. I learned very quickly to stop reporting any more incidences. After being watched by Ryder, if I didn't want to be punished for them, I'd never been one to socialize much. I also punished if I attempted to go out or contact family. One night in utter defiance, I walked out and spent the night to myself in town. Deep down, I knew I only stayed out long because I was terrified to return home. Ryder would be furious, and I knew that I felt wrong. I'd be on my knees begging him to love me, apologizing, being ungrateful, worthless pig I was. By the time I did get home, Ryder was already asleep. He made sure to make his point. My phone was smashed into pieces on the kitchen floor. The hole next to it warned me that if I ever do that again, my legs would receive the same treatment. I like to think of myself as strong, but I'm not. I started crying, unable to understand why someone would treat me so amazingly, then come to treat me like I was nothing in such shockingly short time. A toxic whiplash, stinging my skin and burrowing deep into my gut. And that's how it was from then on for the next year. My time outside was limited to an hour each day. I was not to take the first thing in the morning or any time Ryder was sleeping. The eyes outside my window became a routine I had anymore. Oh, it became the only routine I had anymore. Each time I saw them, I kept to myself, but it hurt. The eyes were so upset. I could relate to that. On my birthday, Ryder decided to celebrate by locking me in my room for almost of the day, and at the end of it, attempting to force himself on me. I say attempting because my memory of what happened next is hazy, and not because he succeeded in being a total piece of shit. No, it's because of what I saw. The window shattered, glass splinters flew his way, and the roar coming from shook the walls. I swear, shook them so hard I thought they'd fall. As a large red-eye form entered my peripheral vision, I squeezed my eyes shut, stupid as it was. In that instance, my only thought was that I was going to die, and this time, Ryder wouldn't protect me. Besides the roar, there wasn't any sound beyond a sudden, wet tearing sound and a violent splatter. My memory cut out there. It was just blackness. But they told me later that Ryder's body had been reduced to a human equivalent of wet tissue paper all over my bedroom. They told me someone in the home dialed the police, but no one actually spoke to them or told them anything. I don't know how I got to the bedroom, to the living room. There was a vague memory of large, cold arms on my back, the warm bile of clawed fingers on my side. They said when they found me, I was hysterical. I was begging for him to come back. I don't want to be alone again, please. I assumed that I was talking about Ryder, whose killer was never caught. The police ruled me out as a suspect pretty quickly. I'm small, and when they found me, malnourished severely. Ryder only let me eat if I weighed less than a certain number on a given day. Last night I was finally able to come home after my home was cleaned and restored. Everything felt empty and lifeless, drained of all meaning, painfully lonely. As anyone can guess, I spent all evening in the worst panic attacks to date, crying so hard that I had to sit by the toilet because I was throwing up. Too afraid to sleep in my own room, I instead resigned to the familiarity of the couch. Again, as I drifted into sleep, I saw two pairs of red eyes watching me from outside. This time there was no sadness, not like before. At least, it was an empathetic sadness, as if we understood what tragic lives we both lived thus far in one glimpse. Recognition dawned on me. Words not from probing into my mind clumsily. As awkward as my attempts to speak with anyone else, I sent back encouragement. Careful, the little light I had let myself. The eyes opened slightly, and then softened. Memories that were not mine eased into my mind. The perspective from the outside of my home that night glanced inside. Ryder producing knives, waiting for me to sleep. Ryder at his own home. The last night I let him stay, measuring out pill dosages that could kill someone my height and weight. That first night we met, Ryder watched me from his window. A dark idea blossoming in his expression. I understood then that this red-eye thing had been protecting me all along. Each time I was supposed to die, it had purposefully provoked Ryder's ire redirected his attention. It could be there during the day, but at night, it was free to roam. Oh, it couldn't be there during the day, but at night it was free to roam, sorry. I understood then that Ryder had never charmed or comforted me in some mysterious way that I couldn't explain. With this being said, sending me comfort, bravery will come for their own sake whenever it could. When I woke up the next morning, I also understood why Ryder never allowed me to glance or step foot outside until he'd woken and cleared the house of whatever evil thing still haunted or left us. Scattered all along the perimeter of my home were the most beautiful red flowers I'd ever seen. Aww, some monster love. How you guys doing? My eyes hurt. Chappy's thing. Just freaking give me claims. Look at this picture. Guess who that is? Can y'all guess? Cute, right? Any guesses? It's your girlfriend? No, it's not my mom. You all know who she is. Any more guesses? No, it's Hillary Clinton. See it now? You wanted to be your president. I don't know. It was on some slideshow I was looking at. Lies. Just Google Hillary Clinton, young Hillary Clinton. Ew. I knew I'd get one of those. What happened to her? Beauty fails, my friend. Hey, Smiley. No, I don't like that pic. You almost fapped to it. You sicko. Nothing too crazy going on. Creep show. What is this? Where's Creep Show? I'm trying to give me the. I keep seeing an ad for a. Nah, nothing too crazy going on. Let's get some. Oh, we've been going for 2 hours. We've got an hour to go. I should take my sleeping pill now, though. They usually take about an hour to kick in. Adults, if you're taking sleeping pills, take them now. You're supposed to take one of these or two. Oh, cool. This could cause stomach bleeding. I think I already have a problem with that. Awesome. I'll stream right as you're closing up shop. Well, right on, bud. It says lift here. Oh, I was lifting the whole thing. How many of these damn things are you supposed to take? 1 or 2? Forgot about my meds tonight until now. Wish this damn thing would tell me how many of them I could take. I'd take 2 if I could. I ripped the whole thing off. Now I gotta get it separated. Let's see it. I don't know, Smiley. I might, but glad. Got my pills. Okay. I'm glad you got your pills also. Now I can't even open my thing. Where's my dang razor blade at? Or a knife? It's a funny joke because I can see writing on the other side. And it's like every now and then I can see a glimpse of another piece of paper in there. Is this funny to y'all? Is this funny watching me try to do this? Did you just chew it? No, it's right here. It's gone. Oh, that smells, salsa smell. I feel like I can Google this question. How many Aleve PM can I take? How many Aleve? Gotta spell it right. PM. Oh. Cool, too. So you get rid of the pills quicker. Aha, smart. There's always one weirdo to comment on my shirt. I cannot go anywhere without someone saying something about this shirt. Out of all the shirts I own, this one shirt. Bet 2 of those and a sleep drink. Oh my god, you'd be out like a light. What do you think, guys? Is it time for ice cream sandwich? Nope, I got chip tape right here. It's really good and natural. Can't really overdose on melatonin. I feel like I can Google that. I feel like that might be false. But yeah, that sleep drink I think has it in it. I was taking that stuff years ago. It's pretty good. The band that got me into thrash metal, first time I heard them in the 6th grade, was Angel of Death. Oh yeah. That was a spicy burp. It was a spicy meatball. Sorry for my Italian. Immediately, sorry for my Italian. Oh, now they tell me. I'm supposed to take Aleve PM with an empty stomach. Non-habit forming sleep aid. Which one's the sleep aid? Words that I can't say. Sweet. If you ate chapstick, it would be fine. Putting some Burt's Bees on. Good for the tummy. No, I did not eat chapstick. I feel like when you guys say stuff like that, I can't defend myself quickly. And it takes a second. See, look. Jesus. Look what you started, Lauren. Thank you. I'm a ninja. Oh, yeah? I'm a better ninja. Oh, shoot. Where'd she go? We can team up on you. It's not fair. It's fine. Sorry, Lauren. You know I love you, though. You're like the sister I never had. Oh, what's this? It's not the tumor. Might be a tumor. I wonder what other shapes I can make with my hair. There we go. I look like I have one of those man buns or something. A really weird one. Is that what those guys look like? I don't know. What else we got? Can we pile that up there? Nope, it doesn't want to stay. Doodads, not a tumor. Hello, I'm high. Lauren, you can talk again. You're a moderator. I was just messing with you. Sorry. Anyways, let's do another story before I start yawning. Mr. Ferguson. I hunt down the government's mistakes. The hair is some of the best parts. Speaking of, I gotta brush it. What is this? Jay and Silent Bob reboot begins the production next week and more. I don't know what this is, but it looks good. Oh, whatever. Going to bed. Peace. I thought you were gonna stream after me, bud. You are required to stay. Leave the stream running. You're gonna stream after I'm done, but you're gonna go to bed first? I'm only gonna stream for about an hour. This brush is like the equivalent of a guy missing a tooth. Look at it. It's oh. But it's 2:30. 2:13. I'm just making up words. That's what I do all the time when I'm reading these stories. If y'all read with me, you'd be like, that word wasn't in there. Now I'm gonna get someone to actually read the story with me. Oh, him too? LOL. Oh, who? Smiley, you were supposed to stream, right? I don't know anymore. Who's streaming what? I'm all focused on the stories. About the gay psycho lovers and falling in love with a monster. I don't know, man. Dang, 3 a.m. We all over the place. He did stream. He streamed the other day. That's right. I remember now. I'm in the closest time zone. Creepy. Is it? $8 p.m. on me. Oh, Smiley wins. Who's in Texas? Whoever's in Texas wins. It's actually bright. Gonna stream me taking a deuce, the highest viewed video on YouTube. Probably not. Probably they don't want to see what's going in there. Same time zone. I want to read this, but it doesn't look like a creepypasta. I found a dead girl's diary. I wanted to read this one. I remember why I didn't want to read this one. Because it was too freaking long. You can call the deuce Fortnite too. Oh. I heard banging. Like, kind of banging. Listening for it. Whatever. I can read a story with the lights on. I'm not scared. Don't judge me. All my friends are dead. Dang, I'm scared. Ah, weird stuff always happens here. Fortnite sucks. I don't know. Never really played it. And I just closed the... Oh, my nose is... Creepypasta.com. Fortnite, whatevs. A lack of empathy. Ben, a true story. The well. Oh, wells are usually pretty non-creepy. Thought I heard something. I feel like I should work on getting a weapon. I don't think toenail clippers will do it. My tweaker's at. At least they're stabby. Nope, a pen though. Oh, wait. Where's it at? I have a weapon. And a knife. Oh yeah. See this bad boy? Look at that end. I don't know if y'all can see that. Can y'all see that? Focus. 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 So, oh, I could totally do that on my F key. Let me, hang on. Hey, I feel the F key now. All right. Yeah, it works. We're good. And then I have my knife. Nope. Oh, almost. Oh, whatever. It's not that sharp. Feels like it's pretty sharp though. Nobody make a sound. I'm trying to open up this. Aha, I got it. I got it. Uh-huh. Look at that. All I needed was a sharp knife. Now I just need to stick it back on the leaf, which I don't think it'll go. Oh yeah, it did. Bam, like a champ. Alright. Yeah, that can go in my pocket. I like that knife. It's pretty alright. What do you do? I'm stop story time for a second to get weapons. Need to loosen it some. No, it's a pretty crappy knife, but right in the neck it'll work. And this guy, the eyeballs. I love these pins. Oh, it's a pin, by the way. It's just a regular pin. You could stab somebody with it or break glass. These are my favorite pins. Only if I need to be. I heard some creepy sounds. I've got weapons. Leave me alone. Anyways. Write us an angry note. Break the glass. The Glockery? Glockery's not here. It's... I need to bring it home one of these days. I'll probably bring it home tomorrow. What's wrong with the tip? Anyways, it's fine. Everything's fine. If I hear something crash out there, this in one hand and this in the other, well, I mean, this like this and this in the other. Read a Dr. Seuss book. Me? No. Dr. Seuss ain't got nothing. Yeah, I got that joke on sale at the Jokery. Say hello to my little friends. This one's a short one. After this, I want to go smoke and check around outside. We're keeping the line on for now, I think. Just in case that door, flies open. I see my weapons right there. I need to get a lower watt light bulb, I think. I'll probably do. My grandfather grew up on a chicken farm outside. Wait. Oh, man. I've read this one. The guy was in the well. Damn it. I knew that would happen to me. I really need to keep a running tab of my stories. Who's supposed to be doing that? One of you folks. No, it's my fault. How are y'all doing? Huh? Is everybody doing alright? I think I want an ice cream sandwich. You're doing me? Wait, huh? What? I'm at... I'm trying to look up my analytics real quick. If you guys don't mind. Sure you don't. It's fine. There's a number somewhere. It says... Yes. 72,048 minutes viewed. 2048 divided by 60. That is the wrong number. 72048 divided by 60. I'm at 1,200 hours viewed. You guys like me. You really like me. Like you really want a cigarette. 70 games loaded on the PS Classic now. I'm happy. Didn't you just say 50 a little while ago? Okay, my dude, I'm getting high. No, I'm fine actually. I'll have one in a minute. LEDs confound me. They're just diodes, that's all they are. Light emitting ones. Ooh, this little bastard's sharp. So much nope. Nope. Looking for a story, guys. I really am, I promise. Reality. Then get you to eat vegan. You just say hi, just like my best friend says when he's in China. Oh, hi. I don't know how I said it now. I feel like I've read a lot of these. That's why I like the creepypasta.com. Slow. The Chromebook. When I have my shitty PC, at least unzip the files, then open. It's whatever. It's whatever. Whatever. Oh yeah, here's the full list. I wasn't able to get this earlier. Just showing me some crappy list of like 50 of them. The woman in the oven. 2 minutes. I got this. During the summer of 1983, in a quiet town near Minneapolis, Minnesota, the charred body of a woman was found inside the kitchen stove of a small farmhouse. The video camera was also found in the kitchen, standing on a tripod, pointing at the oven. No tape was found inside the camera at the time, although the scene was originally labeled as a homicide by police. An unmarked VHS tape was later discovered at the bathroom of the farm's well, which had apparently dried up earlier that year. Despite its warm condition, the fact that it contained no audio, police were still able to view the contents of the tape. It depicted a woman recording herself in front of a video camera, seemingly using the camera the police found in the kitchen. After positioning the camera to include both her kitchen stove in the image, the tape then showed her turn on the oven, open the door, and then crawl inside, and then closing the door behind her. 8 minutes into the video, the oven could be seen shaking violently. At that point, thick black smoke could be seen emanating from it. The camera then continued to stationary point at the oven for 45 minutes until the batteries apparently died. To avoid disturbing the local community, police never released any information about the tape or the fact that it was found. Police were also not able to determine who put it in the well, or why the physical stature of the woman on the tape did not in any way resemble the woman they found in the oven. She was burning the evil out, sounds like. Heathens be gone. It's me, Chappy, with my chapstick, classic OG, T-Heat. Not chapstick, man, it's Burt's Bees, get it right. It's Burt's Bees. If you don't want me to visit you tonight, you'll say it right. Burt's Bees. It's got two little bees on it, see? They're right there. You see the little bees? They look like flies, but they're bees. Buzz, buzz. If I sting you, I'll die. But you'll hate me forever. But if I sting you, I won't die. And I'll love you for it. Oh yeah, that'd feel like a sting. Oh yeah. Right in the head? Oh, I'd crack a skull open. Jeez. I want to go check to see what's going on outside. Because weird noises are being made. But don't worry. I'm here to kick ass and chew bubble gum. And I'm all out of bubble gum. God, that'd be bad if I scratched my and got confused. What if, like, I did this, like double, like, that'd be a badass weapon, wouldn't it? Just like that. Just tape them together. I got some electrical tape here. I feel like that's how stoners freaking suit up for war. I'm gonna close the knife so I don't cut myself. There's that. Alright, I'll be right back, guys. Need a bat. I got a tube of cardboard. Would that work? I'd funk him. Just funk, 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 funk. Oh, I got burning lasers. They're not here. They're in Dallas. I mean, I still hope they are if my cousin hadn't thrown them out yet. My AR-15 and my 1,200 rounds. Just a good old bat or a shotgun. What about a bat shotgun? Shot bat, bat gun. Ooh, a gun that shot bats. That would be freaking... That's how my brain works. Alright, I'll be right back. Do y'all want some music or not? I'll turn it on. You see, I could probably give you some different stuff. Oh, too slow. How are you guys doing? It was creepy out there as always, but nothing out of the normal. Bro! I need to find a way to make those actual pictures. Those splash screens. You need to be full-sized. Hey, if you guys hadn't thought about it yet, y'all need to download my link. It is 40 cents. Jesus, that sucks. I peed a little. You always pee a little. Y'all should download that. I'm just saying. If you love me even a little bit, download it and install it. You gotta install it. It's the only way it works. Share this panel on your Twitch channel or in your Discord group, on social media or other places. Make sure you think that people would want to check the Streamlabs OBS. Remember to use best practices, only copying with your permission. As you get referrals, we will display your progress on here in the dashboard. Keep an eye on your working contract, your tracking progress, and refresh. Referrals grow each month. Mine do not grow each month. In addition, Streamlabs will match all contributions from the affiliate program. For each 40 cents for every unique individual who installs Slobs through your referral link. But yeah. Tired now. I can't type today. I can't talk ever, so it's fine. I can't read. Look at this sweet fella right here. How do you feel about that? He's a nice, good-looking guy, isn't he? I like to look at the things because I see it, but never mind. You're golden. Cool looking dude. Oh, that felt so good. Let's get the knife out of my pocket before I stab myself. But I'm gonna hold on to the pin for now. God, I love these pins. I have like 2 or 3 of them, and I just keep losing them. But I'm gonna keep this one, or at least to try to. I found the other pin recently. Where did I find it at? I was like, I gotta keep this. Golden showers. LOL. You're ridiculous, Bubba. Hey, David. My friend here is gonna visit you tonight. Down. Does he party? I don't know. I guess you'll find out, won't you? Oh, that's creepy looking. Lauren, you'll is Dee to death too? Is that what you're saying? Lauren's creepier than we thought she was. What? There's so many things that I want to ask about that. First of all, how do you get poison oak on your testicles? I'm optimistic. And how do you get it on your testicles all the time? Jesus. It happens. No? No, it doesn't just happen, bud. You have to be like, I mean, are you like walking through the woods naked, or you're like, ooh, poison oak, I'm gonna go pee on that, or, I mean, I just don't know, man. I just don't know. You're a weird cat. You know that? I mean, quite possibly. Two months ago, my dad accidentally cut off his index finger with a table saw. My sister found it under the car seat yesterday. Anybody want some jerky? It's, oh, man. Just clicking through some creepy pictures. Oh, I love this one. Forgot about that one. Yeah, save that one. Ooh, that pic was nasty. I didn't see anything. Nope, never had to shite so bad I had to pull over on the freeway. I'm just being honest with you, bud. I didn't pull over. You just let him go over. You just let him go all over himself. Yes, but never won though. Jack in the Box. That'll teach you, won't it? Prairie dog in it. Now when you gotta go that bad. It's like holding water in your mouth. And like a little bit comes out each time. I wasn't gonna say that. That's gross, man. Oh, that's disgusting. How do we go to poop every time? It's always something. You guys, I mean, you're killing me, Smalls. Hey, what's going on, Bubba? He's one of the guys I play the game with. What's up, Brute? I was telling creepy stories and I'm about to get off here. I usually start at 6 p.m. But make sure you subscribe. You should get all the other people to come. This is my face. These guys are used to my face. Oh my god, gross. The poop, or are you seeing what I'm seeing on my monitor? Because this is pretty gross. What? That MF is running fast. I like Mike. Yeah, they call me Yakitori. I'm actually Chappy. But yeah. Hey, got more than 200 subs. Yeah, like 203 or something. I don't know. 202. I lost one. Holy crap. What did I do to... Whatever. It was probably all that poop talk that you guys were... Wonderful. $202. Could have swore I had more than that. Moving on up. I'm trying. I'm trying. Melting Man. 203. Bam. Thanks, Brute. You kick ass. Or Mike. I don't know which one you prefer. Welcome to the stream, Bubba. Just telling creepy stories and got creepy here, so I kind of stopped for now. And it's almost 9 o'clock. I think I could probably read one more. Oh, I gotta get me one of those. Oh, that's wonderful. Let's see if I can find a... Don't want to go to the Wicca. I want to go to the .com. .com. What's your opinion on that? On what? You see Nate's dad stuff? Oh, it's stupid. I want him to do creepy stories, but then I made a tweet about me taking over doing his creepy stories. Let's see here. Read it. Give me a second. Maybe I will. I don't know. What? Oh, where's my old tweet? I don't understand Twitter. This isn't. Here it is. I said, well, I suppose, at Nathan Barnett. Nathan Barnett, isn't gonna do grave stories anymore. Never fear. I'll do my best to continue in the similar fashion. I will be on at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard, or Eastern Time. I got 2 retweets and 4 hearts. That's good enough for me. Yeah, but I like when it was creepy. Because I just like being creepy. Just don't judge me. The creepy stuff. Where's a story that I could say? 26 minutes, my ass. True. Slum. 26 minutes. I keep clicking on the long ones. On a Hill. Part 2. Nope. No parts. I can't. If I didn't read the first one. Anna. 4 minutes. I got this. This is Anna. Please read along and see where I make up words or fill in my own. Oh, shoot. Yeah. Let's close these advertisements. He liked to volunteer in the psych ward of his local hospital. His real job was a stockbroker, but the stress got him sometimes and he needed an outlet. In the past, he turned to booze to relieve the pressure, but that had taken him to a place he hoped never to revisit. He didn't know why it helped him so much to be in the hospital. He didn't particularly like the crazies that made him work with. In fact, he thought most of them were beyond help. He supposed it was really Anna that kept him coming back. Anna was a little girl, maybe 10 or 12 at most. She wouldn't really have been in the ward with the adults, but this small town wasn't wealthy enough to have separate housing for minors. He felt sorry for all the kids who had to be bunked with these terminal whack jobs, or he would. If Anna weren't the one there under 35. Swear to God, that's what it says. That just made it sadder, he supposed. He felt the need to protect this little girl from the frightening company she kept. So he had promised himself to never leave as long as she was there. Oh, to never leave as long as she was there. Sorry. And it was probably at least screwed up person in the hospital. She had terrible anxiety anytime she left the building. They said if she'd leave, she'd probably die from the shock of it. The only thing that seemed to make her feel better was his talking. So he talked to her for hours on end about even the most inane topics. He felt a need to know everything about her, a need that transcended what should probably have been suitable for their relationship. But Anna seemed so happy when he talked to her that he could never bear to leave her long. The only subject they avoided was the reason for her being in the ward. He felt that there was a reason. She would tell him in her own time, and that if he pushed her, he might break the connection they had for each other. Their bond had begun to grow stronger every day. They were almost close enough to be brother and sister, so close that no longer pretended to be working with the hospital. He quit his volunteering gig and came in every day just to be with her. He seemed to even be helping her with anxiety, until one day he found her curled up in a ball in her bunk, sobbing quietly to herself. When he asked her what was wrong, she finally told him why she was in the hospital. She and her mother had been in a car accident with a drunk driver. Her mother had died as a result. She had to be hospitalized. She hadn't talked for months after that. In fact, she'd only started talking around the time that he started going to the hospital. Touched by the idea that he might have had some part of Anna's healing, He felt brave enough to ask her if they'd caught the killer. She told him that they hadn't. That was why she couldn't leave. She was so scared he'd come after her. He tried to comfort her, tell her that the drunk driver wouldn't remember her, but nothing helped. Finally, in desperation, he promised to kill the driver if ever managed to get close to her. That got Anna's attention, and though she was shocked at the statement's brutality, it at least got her to stop crying. The rest of the day went normally, but he decided that he would talk to Anna's doctor before he left. He hadn't talked to the doctor before, but everyone at the ward knew him, so he felt no qualms about introducing himself. He had asked about Anna, and the doctor seemed extremely keen to hear what she had to say. Apparently no one knew why she was in the ward in the first place. They had just found her wandering, bloody by the side of the road. Surprised, he told the doctor Anna's story, and at the end, the doctor leaned back in his chair and sighed. "Richard, what you're telling me is very serious. There isn't anyone named Anna in the ward. You had a nervous breakdown recently. You've been coming in the hospital for psychiatric sessions. However, you've been getting worse, not better. For the last month, you haven't left the ward. Tell me, Richard, do you remember the last time that you were at work?" That was a stupid question. Of course No. He'd taken some vacation time to spend with Anna. How had he forgotten that? But the doctor shook his head. "You were forced to take psychiatric leave. We believe that you had some sort of traumatic event, one that triggered your breakdown, a subsequent hallucination. From what you told me, I'm inclined to believe you were responsible for the incident while drunk driving." He sat there frozen in shock. This was impossible. He'd quit drinking right about the time he started at the ward. No, he couldn't have. But it was rushing back. The erratic light from the headlights as he swerved, the screech of the rubber as he saw them. The one froze second there, he saw a 10-year-old girl screaming from the back seat. When he looked back, the doctor wasn't there. Anna was sitting in the doctor's place, saying nothing, just staring at him. He stared back for a second, and then had to look down. He felt so guilty. So guilty. He'd made a promise. Richard picked up the scissors. I like that story a lot. That was a really good one. And if you liked it too, give it a 10. It's freaking trippy, man. Well, Angel, I hate to inform you that as you arrive, I'm getting ready to sign off. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you guys, this pin's really cool. It can do this one thing. Oh, but this one can't do it. Nope, never mind. My other pen can do it. Oh, this one sucks. I used to be able to take the tip off and put the tip on there. This is a cheap one. That sucks. Whatever. Stay. F those sleeping pills you took. No, guys, I gotta wake up early. And it is my bedtime. Maybe if someone graces me with a little of this down here, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll stay for one more. I'm gonna bribe y'all to make me stay. Or y'all have to bribe me to make me stay, damn it. Jeez Louise, all these ads. Dang, where's my checkbook? Oh, you don't have to use a checkbook. There's a link you can click on. It's in my description. If you're really so inclined. I'm watching an armadillo do breakdancing moves. Just wanted to close it. That's all I wanted to do. Gift cards. Yeah, I need Apple iTunes gift cards. Oh wait, where's my Indian accent? That's terrible. Those hackers can all burn in hell. I think they tried to get me once and I just laughed at them. But maybe I'm wrong, I don't remember. I do remember one time the IRS said that I owed them money. And I proved that I was in the desert at the time. And there was no way that I owed them anything because I was getting, what do you call it, war pay. And basically they just stopped questioning me. I was like, did you mess up? Like, we don't make mistakes. We're just letting you go. Hazard pay. Get a call from the IRS scammers. What is this? Jay and Silent Bob. What is this? Creep Show. Jay and Silent Bob Creep Show? Is that what it is? What's Creep Show? Oh, it's a 1982 fantasy cult film. I need to see that again. It had like Leslie Nielsen in it. Oh, look at these guys. What if this guy visited you tonight? Huh? How would that make you feel? 8 years with this job, I guess. Oh, is he there right now? Sorry to hear that. It's from the 80s. Or, David, what if these chicks visited you tonight, huh? Look at those lips. Come on, baby. You know you want some? Oh, yeah. Or this one. Just floating outside your window. I don't know. That's creepy. Well, Angel, I think you're missing the point of the show. I mean, it's all pretty much supposed to be creepy, though. My toes are dancing right now. Like this guy. Give me a little kiss, baby. I don't know. Like, I'd want that mask if I can control my tongue. Which it looks like he can. That's his actual tongue. What if this guy came to fix your heater? Hey, sugar. Give me some lovin'. What else we got here? This is all from the movie Creepshow. I've been seeing ads for it. Now I want to watch it. Their advertising worked on me. Bastards. Oh, I guess they're coming back out with the show. The music is really loud. Oh, Sci-Fi is coming out with the Chucky TV series. While the upcoming Child's Play cinematic reboot ramps up the market, its June wide release, the unrelated television series based on the horror franchise has begun pre-production, including Nick Antocasa, creator of the showrunner, recently canceled sci-fi anthology series Channel Zero, unveiling the work title for the planned sci-fi series while revealing being developed in the show Child's Play creator Don Mancini. The working title is Chucky, confirmed Anacosta in an interview with Slash Film. That could change, but that's the working title. The Child's Play television series is officially announced by Manicosti last month, with news that would completely unreleased the coming big screen reboot later this year. Acosta went on to explain that while a tentative working title was selected because of the wider recognition of the franchise Killer Doll, it would lean more into the conventional horror than the more campy sequels. The series is going to be a closer tone of the first two movies in the series. It's going to go back to the short classic scare. Awesome. Child's Play is coming back. That little bastard haunted my dreams when I was a kid. Like, now I realize I could probably kick him. But, you know, when I was a kid, not so much. But anyways, guys, it's 9/11. How many of you people we got in here? Bridget's name is Bridget Gatormason. You know that. We got 11 people in here. Well, it's time for you 11 people to go to bed. Yeah. Well, guys, I mean, this little bastard's back. Oh, they're not letting me click and drag the picture. Hang on. Here we go. This little bastard's back. Doesn't that make you excited? Usually pass out around 4 a.m. What are you, jobless? Jeez. Sorry if you are jobless. I just pray that Chucky doesn't fill y'all's creepy fill quota. Y'all start watching him over me. You know, I got needs here too. Stop doing that. I almost hurt myself. But yeah. Party down. I play drums in a band. So I'm pretty much jobless. You might have to come to Texas and play drums for me, but I don't want to build a sound studio, a little sound booth behind me or something. Here's the first look at the demon doll. Look at those big old eyes. Oh, they don't want to hurt you. I just want to love you forever and eat your soul. Bummer, dude. What's a bummer? You down for coming to Texas and playing drums for me? Oh, yeah. Yeah, look at that. That's going to be wonderful. So much nope. So much nope. So much nope. Burt's Bees voice with Chucky. I just want to play with you forever. It's the Burt's Bees for you. But anyways, guys, I gotta get me some sleeps. My stomach feels like it's bleeding or something. I don't know what's wrong with it. I just keep feeling this sheeting feeling. Should probably go to the hospital. It'll go away. Sure, it'll go away. Famous last words, right? But yeah. Freaking, oh, look at that. He can help you build your house and everything. Huh? Have a good night, chat. Later, Civ. Be good. I'll have to hit you up sometime when I plan on getting some musicians together. But yeah. You guys have a wonderful night. I will see you next time. And until then, oh, by the way, I do stream every night. People always have to ask me, are you streaming today? Yes, I'm streaming tomorrow. I stream every day, 6 p.m. my time. Texas time. Central, or what did I say? Eastern. I said Eastern, didn't I? Did I say Central? Oh, jeez. What did I say on the old Twitter? I said Eastern. I'm an idiot. Hey Siri. What time zone am I in?
I don't understand.
You know what that means. Damn you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Lauren, yeah. I'm pretty, yeah. Yeah, no. No one ever said I was a smart man. I never claimed it myself. I'm just partially clever sometimes. But yeah. So, I will stream again tomorrow at 6 p.m. my time. Central time. I'll send out a tweet if you're not following me on Twitter. I probably won't send it out on Instagram because that's just pictures. Yeah. Anyways, guys, y'all get some sleeps. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Have wonderful days. And, yeah. Peace.